Shout out to Restream. What a nice vibe that sets.
You know what, Jeff? For
What?
some reason, I knew you was gonna pick the porn music. I just knew that you was just gonna pick that one, and that was the one that we was gonna roll with. For some reason, I just knew it, bro.
That was smooth. It was a smooth jam. Hi, everyone. Jeff Kavanaugh and Vach Lombardi with you. We're here to party. Welcome to Scoutcast, MFers.
What's good, y'all? We kind of doing this on the fly, just on the last minute type deal or whatever. But we welcome all y'all to come in and say what's up and ask questions and things of that nature. And Jeff, you know, we kind of winging this, shotgunning it, but I do have something that I'm quasi upset about. We ain't got to do it if you don't want to. It's Cowboys, but you know, it kind of goes into Cowboys draft and draft philosophy, tactics, and things like that. So if you want to do it, Jeff, we can. But I'm just going to complain about Cowboy fans if that's what you went to today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want to make people mad and get people mad at you, that's cool. I'll be the good cop and I'll tell everybody that it's okay. And I just want to point out to everybody who's already said in the chat, party at Jeff's. There is not a party at Jeff's, but you better damn believe that this has become enough of a thing that I'm going to have party at Jeff's merch. That shit's going to happen.
Or there should just actually be a fucking party at Jeff's. Yeah. But Jeff, let me ask you a question though, bro. Let's just go ahead and start this off.
Yeah, it sounds like my dog wants to answer the question. What's up?
Do you think La'el Collins is trash?
I do not.
Regardless of what the front office or what the coaches or what Joe Philbin thinks, do you dislike La'el Collins?
I do not.
I hopped on the Twitter machine.
You just talk. I must have left the door closed, Vach. You vent and yell at the Cowboy fans. I'm going to open the back door for the dog. I'll be back in 20 seconds.
I'll talk and re-ask you the question. I hopped on the Twitter machine the other day, right? And this is draft world for us. We're Cowboy fans. We lost, so we got to focus on draft things right now. So when you do that, you try to take free agency, draft, put it all in one big pot, and you try to configure, you know, what's best for you, right? In my mind, it's hard to find offensive tackle. We won games this year. We drafted at 24. So the fact that there's an offensive tackle I feel good about at 24 is low. You want to talk about some guards I feel good about at 24 or second round or third round or fourth, whether it be the Kentucky kid, the Boston College kid, the Texas A&M kid, any one of them children. Pick a tackle that ain't good at tackle, put his ass at guard. Either one of them children, good to go. Now, how I phrase this on Twitter, brother Jeff, La'el Collins is under contract till 2024. He's making cheap money relative to what tackle is. Terrence Steele is an undrafted dude. He probably won't even be here next year because I don't see us giving up any kind of picks to keep him. And Cam Irvin making fucking $10 million in Carolina somewhere, and I don't think Terrence is one of those dudes, Jeff.
Terrence still got one more though, right? Terrence is still under contract for one more.
He's undrafted guy, so he got the 2022 season. That's it.
Yeah. So
basically,
he's gonna be okay. You got 1 year of Steele.
Basically, so in my mind, brother Jeff, what makes sense to me is keep the long-term dude at tackle, keep Terrence at swing, and just draft your other interior dudes where it's easy to find interior dudes. But I just want to ask the comments, chat box, or whatever. We can see y'all, whether it be just Facebook, my YouTube, just YouTube, people on Twitter. I just want to ask y'all, do you hate La'el so much? Do you hate him so much that you just gotta move him at guard? La'el ain't played guard in years. And Ron Leary took that spot from him. Stole it from him. He ain't been back to guard since. So what make you think, one, we're going to put La'el Collins, a dude that gets worse every time we change his position, every time we put him somewhere different, he looks bad. Why don't you just keep this dude at right tackle? I don't get the love affair that you get with Terrence Steele, a guy that you're probably going to draft to replace him soon enough anyway. He's more so competing with Josh Ball than competing with damn La'el Collins, in my opinion. And just draft guard where it's easy to draft guard. Because, brother Jeff, I'm gonna let you go. Because if you do put La'el at guard and you don't pay Terrence Steele, you just gonna fucking put La'el back at damn tackle anyway. And he gets worse every time you move him. So why not just leave that dude there? Stick to the continuity that y'all think that y'all like, because y'all keep hearing that buzzword. Keep the continuity, put La'el at right tackle, and just go find you a new guard that you like, Kenyon Green. I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead. Do you have any thoughts on that?
You done there? You got that all out of your system?
I'm done.
Got all that handled?
Now I'm done. Now I'm done.
I hadn't seen a super chat yet. I'm just saying. It's very depressing. Yes, I agree with you. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Not necessarily the problem. Here's the thing. So here's the thing.
For sure.
The thing is that we just don't know who you're going to draft yet, right? And so that's the hard part, because if you give me Kenyon Green, Texas A&M guard, if you give me him, yeah, Lyle Collins is standing at right tackle forever, and we're going to kick ass, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sure.
If at 24 you have some CeeDee Lamb type gift fall in your lap, which I don't know, fill in the blank with the name, but he doesn't play offensive line, and you're like, oh my God, he's there. We have to pick him. He's the best player.
Dean, let's just say Dean.
Sure.
N'Kobe Dean from Georgia. Let's say he's there. We got to take him. Sure.
I'd probably take Green over Dean, but don't worry about that. But anyway, you know, if you have a gift fall in your lap and you end up not having a dude that you feel good about starting at left guard, and then you're like, well, here comes the 2022 season, and my plan here is to win the Super Bowl, then with the parts that you have right this second, I would put Collins at guard, because I just tell him, man, this is what gives us the best chance to win this year. And yeah, you might be back. You might be flipping around, and it sucks, and it's bullshit for you personally. But we don't have the horses to have a better offensive line any other way. So I hope one of their first 2 picks is a guard. By the way, Captain Trade Down might ride this year too. I've been watching the safeties. Sure. I might need to move down to 31, 32, pick one of these safeties, have an extra pick. I'm just telling you. But yeah, it depends, right? It all depends on what you draft and what it looks like after that. And I want to say thank you to Jeremy, who got the super chat going. What a sweet, sweet man. And we them boys, who's wanting Lewis Seen, the safety from Georgia at 24.
Hell no.
I wouldn't cuss about it, but I would also say no.
I'm cussing.
I think my 2 favorite safeties, other than Kyle Hamilton at Notre Dame, Daxton Hill, Michigan, Jaquan Brisker, Penn State.
Sure.
Both of those guys, would I want to pick them at 24? No. But will I make T-shirts about trading down and picking one of those guys? Sure.
All your favorite safeties go early, second round pick. That seems where it goes here. But what I'm saying though, brother Jeff, even if that's the case, even if that's your argument, one of my favorite guards last year went day 3. Deontay Brown, you know what I mean? You can find these dudes, brother Jeff. You can't find tackles, and is what I'm saying. So what I think happens though, brother Jeff, what I think happens, I think there's this narrative thing that goes around, you know, that when Leal started off his season a little rusty, there wasn't any follow-up film on that. So if he's rusty now, he's shit the rest of the way. That's what I think happened, brother Jeff. If you watch Leal towards the end of the season, he was your best offensive lineman. Not bullshit. He was better than Zach Martin. I mean, Zach was getting pushed around towards the end of this thing. I just think sometimes things get so caught up in people's mind that they put their eggs in, not even put all eggs in one basket. They only put them in one part of the basket, right? There are now people saying, oh, we got to draft Linderbaum and just nothing else. Linderbaum may be there, but you got to operate as if he's not going to be there, right? But if you want to draft interior dude, most likely guard, just like I said a million times ago, I'm going to repeat myself one more again, you can find them dudes anywhere. So if it's N'Kobe Dean that's there, if it's Jameson Williams that's there, if your favorite whatever player that just, if Sauce Gardner robbed a bank and he started falling in the draft with a gas mask on and he's there at 24, you take him. But you can still feel good about a guard day 2 and day 3 and start that dude. Go ahead.
I'd like to thank DJ's World for swinging by. DJ's World once upon a time got in a bidding war, a pocket battle in the chat, and it was glorious to watch.
DJ's very prideful. He's very prideful.
Yeah, pride's important.
He knows his limits, but he knows his limits. Go ahead.
2 things. Pride is a wonderful thing to have. You need to be proud. Sure. And 2, pride goeth before the fall. Anyway, but DJ's World, I actually agree with you, but you can't say that to Cowboy fans because people are so emotional about their teams, I think, that when you lose, it's just, well, we suck, and if you don't change anything, we'll always suck.
Well, they should grow up.
Let me know. Yeah, let me know which division winners are firing their coaching staffs. But like that's what Cowboy fans demand. Like, no way could this coaching staff win because they're inept and stupid and everybody's terrible. When you went 12-5 and lost in the postseason because you committed 14 penalties, like shit happens. Sure. And if you run it back, that's not necessarily a terrible thing. I'm not in love with Kellen, but that's fine. The one thing that I demand is you explain to me and fix the performance of the offensive line the last 2 months. So
Sure.
I don't like to call for jobs, but I would like a new offensive line coach. There's still not a party at Jeff's, Texas D. No, there's not. But if you're bringing the crown, maybe DM me. We could talk about maybe a party at Jeff's. 1963. Thank you. And Ruben, thank you. Who do we keep now that they're restructuring Dak? They were always going to restructure Dak, and we're not going swimming at Jeff's. They were always going to restructure Dak because everybody needs money. This is what happens. Everybody needs money when it's time for a new season. The Cowboys need some money to operate. They were always going to pull it from Dak. So it doesn't change anything. Whatever you thought they might keep, whatever you thought they could keep, hadn't changed. This was always going to happen. The end. Hey,
Let
Bob.
me ask you this, brother Jeff, because I love Miss. So we're talking about just big boys right now. Offensive line. We're evaluating drafting offensive line. What do you think the hardest trait is to fix on offense?
Oh, that's a great question. I saw you ask it on Twitter. I think, and this is for every position, the hardest thing to fix is athleticism.
For sure.
And that's why I love like Linderbaum,
right?
Where like we're going to talk about how the one thing that he isn't elite at is strength, but it does not mean he's weak.
Right.
And I can make a person stronger. Mm-hmm. So if you are football intelligent, if you athleticism, you can't fix hardly at all. Football IQ, I think, is probably something you have or don't by the time you're getting to the NFL.
Sure.
Strength and technique, I guess, are the quote easiest fixes.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you're banking that you can turn any weakness into a strength, I think you're in trouble. How did I do?
Pretty cool. I didn't really have a dog in the race on a horse in a race on this topic in particular. I just want to see how people think, because this hits really close home to Cowboy fans, right? How my question was phrased when I first said it, it was rank the hardest things to fix on here. It was hands, feet, athleticism, and power, strength, play strength, or whatever. And I say that because in this draft, there's not a lot of perfect dudes. So whatever dudes you like got to get better somewhere. And however you think those dudes can improve is where you're going to draft those people, right? And we all have an example for it in Cowboy land. Like Ryan Leary was fat as hell, but he had to learn how to move in his offense. La'el Collins' hands was bad. We're looking at, Connor Williams, who we need him to get stronger. Connor Williams ain't really get stronger. You see what I'm saying? So, well, he got stronger, but shit still, you know what I mean? So now we're looking at this situation, right, Brother Jeff? And I'm putting you back on the spot because I'm going to bother the shit out for the rest of the draft season, Jeff. We love Linderbaum. We have an example of two interior offensive linemen that move pretty well, but they're a tad bit undersized. They're a tad bit understrengthened. And we look at these dudes. And we look at these dudes, we go, hey, man, we need y'all to get stronger. Tyler Biadasz, Connor Williams, maybe they're not moving at the pace we want them to go. I think Tyler got another year to evaluate him, to be fair to him. Connor got to get pushed off the bridge real fast. It's been a long time for him. What gives you confidence that Tyler Linderbaum can improve his play strength? And why not get a guy like Kenyon Green who has the play strength, but he may not be the athlete that Linderbaum is? Talk to me, Jim.
Oh, I think it's a great debate. If you wanted to just debate those two players, like which position you need more, which skill set that you value more. To me, it's just that Tyler Linderbaum, this is the Iowa center, he just has consistently flawless tape. I mean, he's incredible. So if he didn't get stronger at all, I still think he'd make Pro Bowls. So I think, you know who he is? He's Jason Kelce. Mm-hmm. Jason Kelce came in the league at 280 pounds. But he's just smart as hell, can get anywhere you need him to get to, can snap a ball and beat a guy to a spot in the same motion. And that's just what I see. I just see a smart dude that always makes every block you could possibly dream of. He's never wrong. He never screws anything up. He just doesn't bury people. So like if you watched Iquanu at NC State and then you watched Linderbaum, that'd be a real weird difference. Because that dude, that dude's not human with how strong he is. I've never seen a dude just every time he locks onto somebody and it's a run play, he will be the one person that they're going to leave the screen together.
I broke down this play. It was like versus like a Clemson or something, right? His hands were in the wrong place. His base was narrow. There was near crossing. He was leaning forward. His knees wasn't bent at all, and he still exploded this dude off the screen, Jeff. Akeem is different.
He might go number one. He might. I mean, he or Evan Neal might go number 1 if it's not one of the edge guys. I mean,
It
Icky
depends
could
on
go,
what you like.
he could go number 1.
Depends on what you like. But back on this Linderbaum thing, though, Jeff. So would you say that Linderbaum, and we talking about Cowboy land right now, would you say that Linderbaum is a rich man's Tyler Biadasz?
Biadasz doesn't strike me as a great athlete. Like, to me, Biadasz is okay.
Rich
Like,
man.
I think he's an okay athlete.
Sure.
He has an okay anchor.
Sure.
He's okay. And maybe he's already getting the most out of what he's got. I just think Linderbaum's got so much more that if you get the most out of Linderbaum, what you're going to have is a 12-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
But I can survive with Biadasz. I think if you watch the playoff game again, Biadasz was actually the cleanest offensive lineman in that game.
Sure.
So like that's why I'm worried about the offensive line coach, because if Biadasz is the cleanest player on a line with Zach Martin, Lyle Collins, and Tyron Smith, what the F are we doing?
I guess
what are we doing?
I guess where I'm going with this is, Jeff, is that if we're going to spend first round capital,
you want a guard. That's where you're going. You want a guard.
Well, see, this is this is my thing, Jeff. And let me just say, as a Cowboy fan, I'm proud of my front office drafting wise. So I'm gonna feel good regardless. Whatever happens, I feel good about what they're gonna do over there. So I ain't really worried about it. But yes, I think it's easier to solve our problems with a guard. Like you could move pieces around the offensive line. You could be like, I'm gonna draft this center, but you'll still have this problem here. I think the best long-term decision is to keep Terrence Steele as a swing dude, because he may not even be here next year. Keep Terrence Steele as a swing dude. I'm not acknowledging that Josh Ball exists or nothing like that. But I just think that if you just draft guard, it helps Tyler. You know what I mean? Like if you Tyler, you got Zach over here, and I just keep saying Kenyon Green name because it just turned into I'm putting my eggs in this dude's basket. If you surround Tyler with those dudes, that's different than having Connor Williams next to you. You know what I mean? So I just think that is something to that, opposed to if you take a center now and then next year we're going to have to play musical chairs all over again because I'm not drafting tackle. Go ahead.
Well, the good news here is that, and this is something that I've learned from the great Vach Lombardi, is that people suck at drafting, and they're going to figure this out for us.
Perfect.
They're going to figure this out for us. Like, we are going to talk about Nakobe Dean. We're going to talk about Tyler Linderbaum and Kenyon Green. And what's going to happen is as they go through this thing, one of them is not going to get picked. And when you get to 24, we'll be like, oh, that one. Like, they're going to work this out for us, I'm pretty sure. So, like, it's worth the conversation about who would you rather have and all these different things. But I think at the end of the day, as Steven would say, that they're going to work this out for us. Somebody's going to be staring you in the face, and it's going to be awesome. Like, if you guys look at mock drafts, and I always do because I'm always desperate for content, every time you're going to have at least one of what I would call a primary target, and sometimes two.
Sure.
Sometimes you're picking between Green or Dean, or Linderbaum or Dean, and sometimes Dean and he's long gone. But I'm trying to remember who are some of the other names I would be thinking about that just fall into your lap, and you just go, "Oh, sweet, this is amazing."
So watch this, Jeff. Let's do this. So we doing this right now on the show just to get an idea of, where your head is right now. We're on the board at 24. Green or Linderbaum?
Linderbaum.
Linderbaum or Dean?
Linderbaum.
Linderbaum, or, of course you say Jordan Davis. So let's Linderbaum or Jameson Williams.
I'll tell you later.
I see what you got. Okay, I see.
I'll tell you later. I think I could find probably a receiver easier than a really good center. So probably Linderbaum.
Hope we get him. I mean, I like Linderbaum. I don't want people to think that I dislike Linderbaum. I just really,
it's okay.
Sometimes
you look in draft. What you're noticing in the draft is people latch on to certain people, whether it's trait based or whatever. And I've already latched on to Linderbaum. You've latched on to Kenyon Green. We both like the other one. It's just who we've picked.
Just my guy. It's my guy.
That's our guy. Let me run through some supers for you real quick, Vach.
Please.
I want to shout out to Gimli, which it's amazing that a dwarf from Lord of the Rings is watching. I watched 2 days ago, Return of the King. Yeah, we can talk about nerdy stuff. I talk about Final Fantasy 1. You go warrior, white mage, black mage, and just run through Final Fantasy.
30 seconds, Jeff. What's the best RPG of all time?
The ones I spent the most time with, because I'm an old man, are Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 2 on NES and Super Nintendo. I love the old ones. I love all the Final Fantasies. Like Skyrim's fun, God of War shit like that is fun. But I loved Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 7. Everybody else loves. I thought it was good. I loved 10. So Final Fantasy, all of them.
There's a old PS1 game, not even popular over here. Suikoden 2. Pick that motherfucker up. Best RPG of all time. That and Pokemon Pokemon Heart Gold. It's bad motherfucker.
See, that's the age difference. Pokemon wasn't for me. It was it was too late.
You just name dropped Skyrim. Fucking Final Fantasy 10, Jeff. I was outside Final Fantasy 10.
Well, I don't know. Like, I feel like Pokemon was cool with teenagers when I was like 20. So it was like it just missed me. If Linderbaum and Green are on the board, who do you take and who are our starting safety? I'm gonna take Linderbaum. He's gonna take Green.
Jeff was at the age where he was trying to be cool and getting some when Pokemon was cool. So that's why.
Yes. So I couldn't be talking about Pokemon because I had to be talking about how cool I was and did you want to get in my car and stuff like that. Our starting safeties in 2022 are Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson. Wild ass guess.
Isn't it? But just one more time before we get to football, Jeff. Isn't it crazy how far nerdiness has come? Like we used to be like closet nerds back in the day. Now Meg Thee Stallion does cosplay on BET. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Because we found out the nerdy stuff can also be real sexy. DJ's World. So you're drafting an offensive line with the idea they're going to play left guard no matter what. Who gets the call? Oh, that's Kenyon Green. Yeah. Based on the content, Brugler, Jeremiah Zerline, there's not much consensus plus new regimes. 24 may be a sweet spot with 3 or 4. I'm telling you, it's going to be. 24 is going to be nice.
I don't
24, I'm just going to look at my players right now, okay?
Yeah,
24, because there's even names I haven't mentioned yet.
Sure.
Maybe, what if George Karlaftis, Purdue edge dude, is there? Like, that's a good pick at 24.
Sure.
Jameson Williams is an option. There may be other receivers that I think are worthy of that pick. I haven't done a bunch of receivers yet. Maybe Trayvon Walker is an option, another defensive end.
Sure.
I don't love the D tackles in this draft. I don't want to pick any of them at 24. But there's going to be dudes, and there's going to be corners too. There's always corners.
Sure.
But Vach, take a Ron Leary type guard. Oh, okay. So you're on Vach's side. You don't have to say but Vach. You're on Vach's team. You don't have to say but Vach.
That was a sarcastic but Vach. So you got to learn the language of his name.
Apologies. How was golf yesterday? Mental health matters. Golf was ass. It was terrible. My buddy Hunter shot a 76. I shot a 104, but that's okay because we're rebuilding my swing right now. My guy Daniel at the golf ranch in Richardson, he's taking care of me. So we're in the middle of changing things. Okay, sorry. Back to Vach.
Jeff, you can't be like, I ain't got no money, but I got this dope ass heated pool and I got football field, grass, turf in my backyard, and I fucking go golfing with my golf buddies. Jeff, you got money, sir.
I have some money, but with where I'm planning to go, I need to make sure that everyone is subscribed to all my channels because that money probably will not be here forever.
We'll go down a little bit. Party at Jeff's. We have some Christmas level news over the past couple of days, whatever. That brother Dan Quinn is coming back. Paw Jerry say that Dan Quinn gonna be back for years to come. I don't know how that shit work. I'm just assuming that there's a brown paper bag full of money under the table. Because he went on many interviews, but hey, glad he's here. But I think, anything that we can take from that is maybe our defensive drafting strategies kind of don't change or whatever. Previously, we didn't really have a good idea of what kind of defensive players that we were going to take because we were retiring from the Marinelli, Chris Richard thing. We were only looking at base people to where we wouldn't even look at outside linebacker type guys. But now we got brother Dan, and Dan really uses every type of defensive player. Honestly, like there's not one dude that we don't, not one type that we don't use. Go ahead.
You know who Dan would love? First of all, Nakobe Dean, because he doesn't mind small linebackers. And second, but he does like length, which is weird. Like he'll do small linebackers, but he also does like length. I guess if you can run, he doesn't care if you're long.
Sure. Wyatt.
I think he'll like Jaquan Brisker too, Penn State safety.
Brisker. Tell me about him. Haven't watched him. Go ahead. Give us
so he's like Brisker is like a 6 foot, 205 pound safety that moves well enough to be a deep half safety, and he can do all that, but he wants to play linebacker. Like that dude just wants to hit people.
He's a Keanu Neal replacement.
But like he doesn't have any glaring weakness. He's athletic enough to be a deep half guy. He don't run like Daxton Hill at Michigan. That dude's gonna run a 4.3. But he's just really solid. Like, I think he's a dude that you pick in the late 20s to early 40s, and he's going to be a 10-year starter playing a half field or playing a down safety spot, and he can cover running backs and tight ends, and he wants to break people. He's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun.
I will definitely get to it at some point. I don't know how you can watch DBs this early. I'm just not a DB guy. So
I don't know why I decided to. I guess because the Cowboys only have one safety under contract. I've already done Daxton Hill, Jaquan Brisker, Lewis Seen at Georgia, and Jalen Petrie at Baylor. I've already got 4 in the bank.
Yeah, corner safeties. I normally watch them towards the back of the list. I'm heavy O line right now. I'm gonna be doing a bunch of edges and tackles soon. Then after that, we're gonna be doing wide receivers. And wide receivers are fun, Jeff.
I hate quarterbacks, so I'll watch them at the very end because I hate them. And then is there anything else I hate? There's nothing else I really hate. Safeties can be kind of tough because it depends what they ask him to do in college, like the Baylor safety. I don't think he can cover a lick, but you don't know because they never asked him to play man coverage. He just drops around and blitzes and chases the ball around. Let me shout out to Cowboys LA, who's an actual O-line coach we can target. I wish I had names ready for you. I don't. This line played well when Colombo was here, if that were an option.
Sure.
If there were any way to do it, the best answer would be Bill Callahan. You just give him a new title. You steal him from Cleveland. You say he was an offensive line coach here. He got promoted. He's an offensive line coach and assistant head coach here. And you just give him a bunch of money because Bill Callahan is running game Moses. That dude is going to fix everything.
But didn't he want to leave because they wouldn't let him call like plays and shit? Like, do you think he's gonna?
You guys want to know some behind the scenes stuff about why he left? First of all, DJ's world, Iquanu with perfect technique might be the best offensive lineman ever. So I might pass on.
Well, fuck, of course. But Tyron Smith used to be one of them dudes. Like he was one of them Marley run game dudes who used to blow people the fuck up until Callahan got his hands on him and taught him how to pass block, and then Tyron turned into the GOAT. So I don't hate you for saying that. That's fair enough. Go ahead, though, brother Jeff. Tell
Callahan had the play calling taken. I believe he was calling plays for a while, and then Garrett took it back. And then Callahan, I believe in title, was still the OC, if I'm remembering the titles right. But he had an opportunity to go to, I believe it was Baltimore, to be the OC and call plays. And the current head coach at the time of the Cowboys blocked it and said, no, you can't. And Bill Callahan called him a 4-letter C word. So he hated Garrett. I don't know how he feels about McCarthy.
Jason called him a 4-letter C word?
No, he called Jason that.
Okay, that's worse.
Because he wouldn't let him go better his career. He was like, you don't want me to call plays here. You really just want me to coach the offensive line over there. They're going to let me call plays and be the OC. And Jason blocked it. And so Callahan did not appreciate him not helping him with his career. So he had names to call, and he got out as quick as he could.
That word don't really bother us though. That's more of an insult for y'all though. Like the C word don't really bother us in that way.
I think it's more of an insult to women, right?
To
like
white women, yeah.
If you call me that, I'd be like, that's a weird insult to say to me.
yeah, like that's strange.
That's just weird.
That's peculiar. And then look, he's an old man. Like this old man call you that. Like that's you got a better word.
Oh, we have the username party at Jeff's. Now we're cooking. If the Cowboys draft a center, you think Biadasz could transition to guard? I think if you had a different center, Biadasz would be a backup.
Yeah.
That is my opinion.
Yeah.
He called Jason a coach. No, not quite. One less letter, different vowels, ends in T.
It rhymes with cunt, basically.
Oh,
that's what he called it.
Yeah. So
we YouTubers, Jeff. This ain't the radio.
I know. I haven't gotten used to cussing all the time yet.
Say the radio. I asked
Shit.
I asked questions on Twitter, but everybody asked us questions that we're not ready to answer just yet. So while I'm continuing to read them, you have any Senior Bowl dudes that you're looking for? Because normally there's always like 5 Senior Bowl dudes that everybody's looking for. Haven't heard much from them. Aiden and Jordan Davis and somebody else isn't going. So do you have?
Yeah, I got some names. And Grande Papi, favorite tight end to replace Schultz in this draft, and which second or third year player improves the most next year? I don't know about the tight ends yet. I know Broadus just watched a bunch of tight ends, and he said he feels good about this class. I haven't watched them yet.
To be fair, though, what I think is going to happen with tight end, we're going to treat tight end like we should have treated running back, to be fair.
It's going to be Jarwin.
It's going to be Jarwin with Sean McKeon and some new dude that we draft. Then when Jarwin dips, Sean McKeon is going to be the guy. Y'all going to love his ass because I like Sean McKeon right now because he's what fucking Schultz was when he came out. And we're going to just draft dudes and they're just going to climb up that from 6-round picks and just be cheap as hell. That's what I think we're going to do with tight end, and I like it.
Senior Bowl. I got the national team here. Jalen Petrie, the Baylor safety, is interesting. I want to see if he can cover. Kobe Bryant, the Cincinnati corner, is interesting. He's another big dude that played well against Alabama. He could probably make some money in Mobile. Where is that one dude? The Penn State defensive end, Ebikity. I've seen some people who really like him, and I watched his tape and was like, nope. But he had 9.5 sacks, 18 tackles for loss. So if he balls out there and can kind of win a bunch as a pass rusher, then I think he becomes way more inviting. On the American team, Roger McCreary, Auburn corner, Darion Kendrick, Georgia corner. Why am I so into DBs right now? Devontae Wyatt, the Georgia defensive tackle. Jermaine Johnson, the Florida State D end. If he's there at 24, you might want to know that name.
There's also a kid from Cincinnati that I seen people saying his name a whole bunch.
The end, Majai.
That guy. I've seen his name a bunch. So,
and then the Georgia linebackers that are not named Nakobe Dean, they're both going to be at the Senior Bowl, and I've seen them on tape. Quay Walker and Channing Tindall. Georgia linebackers, they just effing fly.
Yeah,
they fly and they thump
for sure.
So they're fun too. Championship picks, gentlemen. I'm stupid enough to think that the Rams are finally going to beat the 49ers, but I only half-ass believe it. And I think the Chiefs are going to mollywop the Bengals.
I am a homer, so I hope they cancel that motherfucker.
Okay. Daxton Hill or Traylon Burks, if we had to pick one. I haven't studied Traylon Burks yet, but my gut tells me Traylon Burks because that dude might be a freak show in the NFL. And can you talk about the safeties you've watched so far? Safeties I've watched are Daxton Hill. He is my cheater grade, 1-2, first round, second round kind of grade. Jaquan Brisker at Penn State, I got at the top of the second round. Lewis Seen at Georgia is a second round guy. And Jalen Petrie from Baylor for now is a third round guy. But there's a lot of dudes we're going to have to watch. A lot of dudes.
Sure. We'll cross that road whenever we get there. That's all I got, Jeff, because the rest of these questions is like, hey, Vosh, what do you think about this kid you ain't watched? And what you think will happen in the 5th round? I don't know.
I just want to say to this gentleman, why throw away your cash? The answer is because people are showing support for their content creators, and we very much appreciate it. And if you have the funds available, I definitely appreciate when you do donate. And if you don't have the funds available and you ask a good question, I still get to some of those. And I love everybody that watches. But damn it, if you got the funds to donate to your favorite content creator, hook them up.
Well, Jeff, you are so mature. I was going to say something mean to that motherfucker, but yo, Jeff, so mature. But I ain't got nothing else, brother Jeff. I think.
No, I got to make ribs. I got to make some ribs, and I got to clean the house because people are going to show up in about 45 minutes. Not for a party at Jeff's, just for some people that I know to watch football. There was a guy with Crook in his name that was talking about coming over for the party at my house, and I was like, if you have Crook in the name, I don't know if that's somebody that I'm gonna let in, and I'll take you to Pebble Beach. I'll go, but let me get my swing fixed first, please. I'd appreciate it. Increase COVID camp attendees going to the second year of the NFL peanut butter push them further. That's a good question because they're prepping so well at the COVID camps that they might get those jumps. They might get some of those jumps early. They sure might. And I'm sorry. I love you for the super chat. I haven't watched James Houston the 4th yet, but when I do, damn it, I'm going to tell you all about him because I love you. And I appreciate Kendall as well, who's shouting out the gang. Thank you, guys. Oh, I'm a nice crook. I'm a nice crook, though.
Hold on. Shouts out to Jake Downey, man, because there's so much language in that super chat that I love so much. Like COVID camp is going to turn into a thing. Like that's going to be a word moving forward. And then NFL peanut butter at the end. Come on, son.
That's very Vachi.
Why didn't you acknowledge the language in this fantastic super chat from Jake Downey? Appreciate you, man.
I don't know, but everybody stop super chatting because I'm going to hit end on this thing. Oh, damn it. There's DJ's World. Who have you been wrong about scouting the most? Pat Mahomes. Thanks for asking. Pat Mahomes.
Michael Parsons, but I don't think I'm wrong about that. I think that he just did some secret shit that we wasn't privy to, and he got better. That's all.
Yeah, if you knew that Micah Parsons was one of the best edge rushers in the league, it was never on tape. So congrats on being so smart. All right, I'm leaving. I love everyone. Remember to be cool to everybody. What about the Doski Woskis and the Peasky Weeskies? And be cool to everybody. And we love you. And there's Travis Jones. And that's that. So thanks. This is Scoutcast and Botch something.